r/AskReddit. Serious people who have been bullied, what's the worst thing? Physical or emotional, someone has done to you? A lot of times in middle school, people would tell me that their friend who I didn't know has a crush on me, because the funny joke part is that who the heck would have a crush on someone ugly, weird and shy like me? It fucked with my head a lot and made me question why anyone would ever like me and be suspicious of anyone who is nice to me or friendly to me. It sucks how that kind of stuff still leaves an impact 5 years later, lol. I think that is one of the cruelest kind of pranks. People used to do that to me too. I'd be asked out, and when I said sure, they'd turn around and tell me we were breaking up cause my hair was weird or some dumb middle school shit like that. I'm still in high school and those jokes made me afraid to say yes to people. For a while I felt like I was too ugly or weird for a cute guy to really like me. I'm slowly growing out of it though, but yeah, pranks like that really are the worst. I feel like you ought to be educated about that kind of bullying in middle school. Not just the golden rule shit, but a good 30 minutes of class a week dedicated to bullying awareness. I had something like that, except people told me that this one girl really liked me. So after so many people said she did, I decided to give it a shot. Was rejected. And then people proceeded to spend the next 3 goddamn years never letting me forget about it. And now people wonder why I have trust issues and refuse to ever ask a girl out. Meanwhile, your peers were asking each other out and they were likely rejected as well. And nobody ever mocked them for being rejected. And since nobody mocked them for asking a girl out, they tried again until they succeeded. But since they were mocking you for 3 years, that pretty much told you, wow, there's something seriously wrong with me. In 6th grade, the school's hottest guy asked me out. I was an awkward and desperate 6th grader who was dating someone else and was the asshole and dumped him to be with hot guy. It was a prank. He and I were together for the span of a week and he broke up with me over the phone. I was told that he did it on a dare. I never trusted any guy after that because I always thought that they had a secondary agenda or were dating me on a dare or because I was pitifully naive. Fuck you, Mike, asshole. Most people think bullying is people calling you names and being outwardly horrible, but I find the little things are 10,000x worse. Stuff like ugh, do I have to sit next to them? Or being consistently picked last 4 teams. Everyone in the team groaning if you're assigned to their team by the teacher. Constant snide remarks made about you as you walk past to the point you cannot deal with going through a corridor because the paranoia and anxiety is too much. Being asked out as a dare / as a joke. You can't sit with us. All pretty small things, but they just build up and up and up and up. The absolute worst has 2 contenders, but basically have the same outcome. I had this long-term crush. We used to be good friends, but the natural boy / girl split in 5th grade practically killed that. Somehow, one of my bullies knew I liked and hacked her Facebook account. I was too smart to fall for the ask out bait, but the next day at school she and said bully legit came up to laugh in my face about it. Turns out he didn't hack her account. She willingly let him do that. Being told I would die alone and never be married, you'd expect this from high school bullies, maybe middle school. Nope, I was hearing that by 4th grade. Already in 4th grade, kids were able to comprehend the deep implications of marriage and the dread of not being married. I got teased like this a lot. I remember one time I tried telling a teacher and she said we don't like tattletellers and gave me detention. Ultimately, I've had crippling self-confidence issues. Never finding myself attractive, being aloof from new people, generally socially distant / awkward until I feel safe around people. Being bullied like that, though it helps paired with a messy parental divorce, instilled deep trust issues, and I'm sure it has a hand in my medically diagnosed anxiety. I will say, physical bullying isn't great, but holds no light to the long-lasting effects of emotional targeting. As someone who suffered 11 years of bullying, I have such a list. And my 2nd grade teacher, Ms. Cole, started it off making an example out of me by not believing I have a disability. Needless to say, my life became a living hell from there. I've been betrayed by those I thought were my friends. The kids on my street were always mean to me despite my wanting to be friends with them. The only friend I had at the time would physically abuse me, and it'd be years later I cut her out of my life. There's so much I could go on. It doesn't get any easier in terms of employment cause certain people don't want to understand me. People think I'm rude when I'm not. It's just how I come off. And I swear, whenever I tell someone I'm autistic, it only changes for the worse. At least I have one good friend out of all this, and 2 awesome little nephews. Holy shit. Currently I'm 38 years old, but I remember high school. I wasn't a popular kid, but wasn't bullied either. I want to tell everyone on this thread that no matter what happened in your life you didn't deserve it. You are important and deserve to live a happy, fulfilling life. Sorry those things happened. Hopefully it doesn't affect you in a negative way, and if it does, seek professional help to work through it. To any bullies/former bullies, I hope you read these people's stories and know what you're doing/did affected real people in their real lives and change your ways. We all need a helping hand every now and then. You're a hero. I second this. Thank you, but I'm not a hero. I just learned from Morgan. Walking Dead. All lives are precious. Even after all these years, what sticks out the most is the times people would find out my crush, tell them, and they'd respond with disgust. And the bus rides. Those were awful. Once someone stuck gum in my hair and drew back to punch me, laughing when I flinched. The bus driver and the school did absolutely nothing. That's horrible. I'm a school bus driver and I don't tolerate any name calling or rudeness on my bus. Can I control stuff 100% of the time? No. But if I do think someone is being a jerk, I move their seat behind me and I don't let them talk to anyone unless it's being polite. Nor all bus drivers are assholes. I used to cut myself in high school and only told a couple people. Well, one day my ex-boyfriend's friend came up to me in the middle of the most populated area at lunch, grabbed my arm, pushed up my sweatshirt sleeve, and screamed, "Hey, you still cutting yourself?" so loud that everyone around just stopped talking, turned and just started at me in silence for what felt like forever. In primary school I was always made fun of and left out of everything. They also would physically gang up on me and batter me till I was barely awake. One time, in the front playground, in front of all the parents, I was hit with a metal water bottle after 4 of the boys decided it would be funny to attack me and try and knock me out. I was knocked unconscious and was seriously frightened for months after that to go back into school. 4 years after, whenever I see most of they boys, but the ringleader in particular, I feel like losing it. I always find it hard to integrate with boys now, as, in primary, I spent too many years just with girls due to the bullying. So now I'm often seen as a gay best friend when I'm perfectly straight. That annoys me the most because they changed people's perceptions of me and I'm now stuck in a loop where prospective girlfriends think I'm gay and won't go out with me. Although I'm much better at integrating with boys due to my love for Celtic FC, the early years of secondary were hard. I'm in 5th year, finished exams and just moving to 6th year, and I'm finally just shaking off the gay best friend tag and hope to become more confident to be able to go and try and get a girlfriend. For context, I went to a small primary school in Scotland where there was, roughly, only 12 of us in the class, 7 girls and 5 boys. So there was really no other people like me if I never fit into the group of 5 boys. In middle school there were numerous comments that already fucked with my mental state. I was treated like a plague on a regular basis because I was neglected, so I looked like a mess. Ratty hair, wearing clothes multiple days in a row, etc. I walked in class late once and the entire class yelled out "Eee." I ran out of the classroom crying my eyes out. No one got punished for it. In my health class, someone kept making "yo mama" jokes at me, and I got sick of it. I told them the truth, that my mom killed herself a few years back, and I wanted them to stop. They said, "Yeah, she probably killed herself to get away from you." Again I ran out of class. No one got punished. In 7th grade, I had a habit of digging my nails into my skin instead of cutting. Kids in my math class would notice me doing it, and I'll never forget what they said to me. "Boy, bruh, look at what they doing." "Girl, haha, shut up. She might go home and kill themselves because of you." I'm almost 21 and these things they said still haunt me. This was about a year ago. One kid was really horrible to me, and he would always beat me up, and once he started picking on me and making jokes about me to try and impress a few girls, and in anger I threw my hot chocolate on him. My school served them in the mornings before school for kids who got there early cause it was winter. He turned to me, ran at me like a bull, and pinned me to a metal fence, proceed to beat the crap out of me whilst getting his mates to join and betting me up. A lot of bruises, and the worst part is the school didn't care and said I started it by throwing my hot chocolate despite him saying some horrible and fucked up shit about me. They just told me to man up. I was 11.